Once again, welcome back to Crypto Tutorial. On today's video, I would like to talk about Litecoin and how it will be performing in the upcoming days. But of course, once again, thank you for watching my previous videos and even liking those videos. If you like this video as well, don't forget to smash up that like button underneath this video. I would really appreciate that. And if you could leave a comment behind, it would be great as well. So let's take a look at Litecoin and how it is performing. I already opened up the Litecoin compared to US dollar chart on the 4-hourly time frame. And what we are seeing right now is that a Litecoin had as well a huge dump during the previous hours. And of course, this dump was caused by the huge dump at Bitcoin yesterday, and I'm very glad and happy that Litecoin could find support on this level where it actually had previous support as well over here. So I'm thinking personally it was just a regular pullback and that we are still looking at a healthy uptrend on the Litecoin chart. And right now Litecoin has been trading in between these two levels of support and resistance. And what I would like to show you is actually the 50, 100 and 200 day moving average. And I think personally the moving averages is a great way to look at where possible support could be. And right now we are, as you can see, hitting the 200-day moving average right over here. And I know the 200-day moving average is a huge support line, and I'm very glad we did not break underneath it. So right now we are trading just above the 200-day moving averages, in between the 200-day and the 100-day moving average, and actually just right above it. And right now it is just a period of time, and we have to wait until Litecoin breaks above this current resistance at the $329 and finds support on it. And then after that we will be seeing Litecoin trading above the 50-day moving average, or right on top of the 50-day moving average. And that's a great sign because we still have the 100 and 200-day moving averages underneath us that will be giving support to Litecoin for sure. And as well, these levels of support that you can see on the $305 and on the $285. But I personally do not think that we will be seeing Litecoin head towards the $285. So right now, I'm just personally waiting for a momentum switch on, and that is what I wanted to show you, the MACD. And what you can see immediately on the MACD is that we are having a crossover on the MACD. And most of the time when the crossover happens on the MACD, there will be a momentum switch, especially because we already had one crossover over here, a second almost crossover, and still there was a lot of downward momentum. As you can see as well on the chart, there was a huge downward momentum that brought Litecoin towards the $305 range where it is trading at right now. But I personally think that after this crossover on the MACD, we will see a change of momentum being created. And if this happens, we could be seeing something similar to this. The momentum will be going up for a while. After that, it will go down. And if there is enough strength, we will see even more momentum after that being created on the Litecoin chart. And I personally think that if this happens, if the momentum switch arrives, and it is almost there, as you can see on the MACD, Litecoin will be able to break through this level of resistance where it's trading underneath right now, and will find support on it. And I think personally that's very important to look at. And as well, I'm taking into account that we are trading, as I showed you, right in between the 100 and 200-day moving averages, and we will be heading above the 50-day moving average, as I showed you before. And that's just my personal opinion right now on the Litecoin compared to US dollar chart. And right now I'm going to switch over to the Litecoin compared to Bitcoin chart on the 4-hourly time frame, and I opened it up for you already. And you can see we are trading in between these two lines over here of support and resistance. And I think this is a very important part because Litecoin on the Bitcoin chart did not have a huge dump compared to the US dollar, like we saw on the US dollar chart. Right here we are still trading in between these two lines, just above previous resistance levels, as you can see over here. And I think this is just absolutely important for Litecoin, especially because we will see a lot of difficulty for Litecoin passing through these levels over here at the orange box that I draw, because there's a huge level of previous support and resistance. So what I would like to show you right over here on the Litecoin compared to Bitcoin chart is actually that a broadening wedge is being created, and you can look at it this way. That's how I'm looking at it, and I will place the second line over here. So this broadening wedge is being created, and once Litecoin has enough momentum to break above this level, I think personally we will see a huge move towards the upside being created. And I think personally it will be possible for Litecoin to break above this level of resistance over here and trade in between the orange box for a while. But for Litecoin to have enough momentum, we have to look at even more signals that will give us this data to actually look at Litecoin and think, yes, it will be able to break this resistance level over here. So I would like to activate the relative strength index, and as you can see on the chart right over here, we have a higher low being created on the chart of Litecoin. As you can see over here, this is a higher low, and on the RSI we have a lower high being created. And yes, this is something very important because this is a bullish divergence that's being created on the Litecoin chart, and you can see there is a higher low on the chart and also a lower low on the RSI. And I think this is very important to spot this bullish divergence on the Litecoin chart compared to Bitcoin, because this tells us that there is possible momentum towards the upside and there will be enough strength to break above this level over here and trade in between this orange box. And of course as well, some of you might have noticed that there is a small descending triangle over here on the Litecoin compared to Bitcoin chart. And yes, most of the time descending triangles tend to break out towards the downside, but right now I think it will be just a continuation pattern, especially because we have already seen multiple higher lows being created and also higher highs being created. And that's why I personally think that it will be not that probable that this descending triangle will break towards the downside. But if it does so, I will measure it for you to take a look where Litecoin might be heading towards if it breaks towards the downside. If we take a look at this small action towards the downside, then Litecoin will be breaking underneath this level of previous support, and I think personally it will be heading towards this level over here where it had found previous resistance, as you can see in the past. But as I said before, I personally do not think that this will happen, especially because Litecoin already showed us on this upward sloping support line that it already had 3 touch points on the upward sloping support line, and also it had already 3 touch points on this upwards sloping resistance line. And yes, this is very important because how more touch points there are on a specific pattern, how more significant this pattern will be, and how more probable it will be that Litecoin will find support once again on this trend line. But right now, where I'm looking at is this possible move towards the upside if Litecoin breaks above this downward sloping resistance line of the descending triangle that we're looking at right now over here. And if Litecoin does so and finds support on top of it, we will see a move towards the upside being created. And I personally think that it will be a move of approximately 10%. It is not a very big move, but still, after this move, Litecoin will be able to trade above this level of current resistance, as you saw previously on the chart. And that will be amazing, because then we will be a step closer to breaking through this level of huge resistance and entering the orange box. So that is something I'm personally waiting for. And that is what I would like to look at the Litecoin compared to Bitcoin chart also as well on the daily daily candles. As you can see over here as well, we are looking at Litecoin, and what I'm personally seeing is that yes, once again, Litecoin is trading in between these two levels of support and resistance. And I think that's just absolutely amazing, because after yesterday's drop, Litecoin did manage to stay above this level of previous resistance, as you can see, and found support on it and did not break through it towards the downside. And that's why I personally think that we will see that Litecoin heading up and possibly breaking this level of resistance and manage to trade in between the orange box. I think that is very important. And as well, just to back up my theory, I will place a Fibonacci extension level so you can take a look at it as well. And you can look, I selected the swing high towards the swing low of the previous accumulation phase to just look at where we will possibly heading to right now. And you can take a look, and currently right now we are trading just above the 1.618 Fibonacci level. And this is very important because the wicks, as you can see, did not break underneath it. Well, just a small tad underneath it, but I think this is not really significant, especially because right now we are trading in between these levels of support and resistance. And I personally think that if a move towards the upside will be created, like I showed you before on the 4-hourly time frame, the small descending triangle inside of the ascending broadening wedge, if it breaks out towards the upside, we will trade above this level of resistance and we will find support on it and trade in between the level of support at the 2.618 Fibonacci level. And if we stay there, it will be inevitable that we will enter the orange box after that. So I'm very curious about what is going to happen with Litecoin, and I hope you are too. So do not forget to like this video if you like the content, and if you would like to stay up to date with even more videos about crypto, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. So have a nice day and peace out.